Hello and welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2014. This is the quarter mile DLC. Last time out we were taking the saloon down the drag strip. As you can see, it's got some smart front wheel slicks. So anyway, that job's done. Let's see who wants their car dragged up next. Dragged up to the world of speed. Okay, the customer of this green Jeep thing runs away. 11 seconds. Alright. Not sure I'd want to be seen with it either. Right, let's go. First we'll give a quick test to see how far off we are of the time, which I've already forgotten. Let me just remind myself of the time. It was 11 minutes 20. 11 minutes? That should be enough time. Seconds, almost exactly. Okay, so we need to take 2 seconds off. Now I forgot completely to look at how much money we've got. 43 grand. So this might be presuming this is a four-wheel drive and it's not just a Jeep lookalike for show. Yeah, there's the axle going to the back. So we need all four wheels to be slicks and change everything else probably. Quite exciting. Right, okay, so it's a V6. Does it have an off-road? It has a double diffuser at the back. Diffuser, muffler. Alright, not really sure what to do about that. I guess it's just a... How can I mouse over it, of course? Muffler V6 rear left. Oops! Dropped some frames there as I sneezed. Oh dear, excuse me. Right, let's go and buy some stuff. Tuning parts. Yes, I want to use a V6 cat. Yes, one of those, please. V6 cylinder head, 2 of. Now I assume it's a V6 manifold, but I'm not sure, so I'll leave that for now. Oh, okay, it's got lots of options. Fuel pump, yeah, we know we want one of those. Ooh, V6, so 2 of these. Okay, I forgot that last time. Even though it shows you 2 of these, didn't remind me. Right, muffler V6 middle, one assumes. I like making assumptions. V6 right, V6 rear left. Go on, why not? 3, 4, 5, 6. No, because we want a V6 version. Yeah. I can't remember what it was called. Can I? Chutney. It's an Olsen Grand, or Grand Olsen, probably as they were called in here. Four of. 1, 2, 3. I bet I forgot to remove all my inventory from previous purchases, so I look a bit muddled in there. Never mind, right, let's get to work. Swapping out all this kit. Exciting kit. Whoops, clicking on the wrong thing. And then clicking on the right. Chink, chink. Yeah, not quite as good as Band-Aid perhaps, but slightly more original. Alright. Okay, one boring grey air filter replaced by R for red and excitement. R for red and excitement. Not sure what that means. Red, that means danger. Danger. Danger, Will Robinson. So, joke for the old people. Right, so that's the air filter done. Okay, no, I don't want to put the stupid thing back on top. Right, let's replace this with shiny new. And to do the same for the heads, we'll need to remove the ignition stuff, spark plugs and the wires. Fiddly job requires concentration. There we go. And oh yeah, it's there. Look, it's not on the head. So we can remove most of that. There we go. And now we can take this off. Pop. And replace it with a nice shiny V6 model. With its shiny red spark plugs. Well, they're not as shiny as the rest of the new kit, but you know, shiny-ish. Oh, you have to put this back on. A shiny red one. Red for excitement. Red means fast. Red means whoosh. That's probably what the advertisement said. And I can't put that on. I have to remove it. There we go. This is in view of needing to take the gearbox off in a bit. If you've watched these before, you'll know the clutch is housed in this large gearboxy bit. The gearbox itself isn't actually modelled, so it's just a large empty box with the clutch in. But you know. Right, so sparkies. No, I'm sure. Yep, there we go. Oh man, I can hear my hard drive thrashing away. I get an underlying hum in these recordings. A, because I'm using a headset rather than a decent microphone, to be fair, but also because I'm sat right next to my tower, which is, well, it's only a couple of years old, which by these days, I mean, computer standards is quite old, although it is still a pretty decent computer, but I have rammed it full of hard drives to the point where they're sort of lying in the bottom of the case, which isn't great. But as anyone who builds their own PCs know, it gets to a certain point and, well, do you want to completely rewire everything? Because it means taking the computer apart and maybe even buying a new case and swapping the hard drives around. Perhaps you can put only a fewer hard drives in that are larger, especially as you get some really big ones these days, misses, etc. But is that everything on the front end? I think it is, apart from this daft thing. But the problem is that you know, ratifying is that the word? Getting all the hard drives sort of pushed around, moving everything around is such a big job, and moving data from hard drive to hard drive can take so long that it's basically a day to sort all that stuff out. And whilst that's great if you've got someone you can hand it to and say, hey, please make this computer work properly, I'm usually that person, so it gets a bit frustrating when you have to do it yourself. And if there's a piece of advice to give to anyone, if you're really into computers, don't do anything computer related as a job. You know what I mean, like fixing them. I mean, you know, you can work on them, you know, work with PC programming or, you know, databases or whatever. But physically fixing them, unless you're really, really into it, it's a complete chore. Right, that's that axle removed. Okay, my other piece of advice is don't take advice from people giving out pieces of advice. If you're young, you're not going to listen anyway, you're going to think you know better, and hey, who knows, maybe you do. But if you are taking advice from someone older than yourself, make sure they're not bitter and twisted about it all. Oh, I didn't need to take the rear wheel off, did I? Or did I? We'll find out in a minute. Because obviously they're less likely to be giving you decent sound advice rather than just bitter sort of recriminations from their own past. Well, I did this thing and it didn't work well for me, so you better not do it. But that's probably not the case. Everyone's different. Anyone who knows me quite well will be saying, you're being remarkably positive. What's happened today? I'm not known for my positivity. That's another good reason not to take advice from me. It's usually always of the no, don't do that advice, so yeah, probably not that exciting. Right, so can we actually remove this? No, we do need to take the axles off. Okay, well that's annoying, but also it's nice to have been faintly right, even though I didn't actually work on that premise. Okay, let's remove the exhaust while we're here. If it would point us at the bit that needs to be unscrewed, that'd be great, or unbolted as it's more accurately known. Thanks for zooming in like that was great. Okay. Now we can find out which of the bits of the exhaust we haven't bought that we need, and whether the bits we did buy are in fact correct. So this should be the muffler V6 middle. Is good. Oh. That's a particularly long bolt, that bottom one, I think. There we go. V6 cat. That sounds good, doesn't it? Meow! There's a joke you'll have only heard. Well, probably not. No one's ever bothered actually saying it. Gotta love cats though, because, you know, cats. Woo. And that is an exhaust manifold V6, so we can go ahead and buy that once we've worked out where we are. Alright, exhaust manifold V6. And I'm not quite sure which of those bits we need still. So, we have to bring it down anyway to remove the final axle on the back. Whoop, me. And also, if you computer program, I don't spend so much time on the fancy reflections. They're nice, but if it means the whole thing is really slow to load, yeah, you know. I suppose you could argue that I could choose to not have that option, but I can't remember what the graphical options are like. I seem to remember there was a head bob that I turned off, that's about all I remember. And I might have turned down the graphics a little bit because it was really, I was only getting like, well, I'm not getting a huge amount of frames now, to be honest, I'm just used to it. Manifold. I should push it to put that back on. Can I work on the manifold without removing the... No, I can. I don't have to have the engine cover off. Engine cover, how I hate thee. Whoops. Oh, don't accidentally right click in the middle of doing this, otherwise it'll magically put all your bolts back in. Wow. New hints and tips. Oh, you know, 14 hours into this 6-hour game. Oh, there we go. It's a bit chilly in my right, well, I say my right finger, my middle finger does tend to sort of just spasm into the right click every now and again. Could do with a little right trigger guard. You know, like for a gun you'd have the trigger guard, so you can hold that instead of a trigger, so you don't get jostled and accidentally shoot yourself or somebody. I mean, you can do the same with the right mouse button for older people, people with dodgy arthritis-y fingers. Right, so that was that. Actually, I could put on the replacement whilst I'm here, couldn't I? Whoop. Reverse polarity and attach. Shiny. Okay, here we go. It's still drawing in all the bolts in the background. Very good. Cranky, cranky, bolty, 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 bolty. And more bolting. I kept meaning to have music on while I'm doing this, but of course, you know, it'll filter through, or I'd start singing, which nobody wants. And if it filters through, of course, then you get warned or something on YouTube. You know, you get your videos get special treatment. I've had that just for having a game that had some music in. Anyway, mumbling aside, onwards, on y va. So what am I doing under here? Oh, I was meant to take the gearbox off. That's what I was meant to do. Hey, that's the other thing that talking and jabbering and singing, if I had the music on, would do. A complete distraction. Alright, Mr. Gearbox, you should, whoops, pop straight off, shouldn't you? Oh no, I've not taken off all the other things. Wow, let's just make the car giddy by putting it up and down a bit. This V4 gets jacks. In the V4 DLC, it was like some sort of grunge thing. You'd only use big blocks like bricks to rest the car on. Oh, reverse polarity to sucking. There we go, suck the piece off the car. Suck. There we go. And we need to suck off the front diff, so to speak, I think. Or is it just all tie straight in? Is it rear wheel drive and I've gone and done it all wrong? I wouldn't put it past me. Yeah, it's just feeds straight in, look. And the front axles, oh, they do feed into it at least, so I did need to take them off. It is 4-wheel drive. I don't know, for some reason I expected the drive shaft to come out of a diff rather than straight out of the gearbox. But I don't know anything about cars. Woohoo! Alright, so now the gearbox should come off. If I click on it twice. It's big enough. It's like a bar. It's the equivalent of barn door of mechanics. So, you know, you couldn't even touch the gearbox. No, that sounds a bit rude. Anyway, enough of that wandering monologue. Time for this clutch situation. He copes, he manages, he scores. Right, so that's the clutch off. Then we reverse the tachyon direction, and then we can stick on the shiny, whoops, shiny bits. Yeah. And then the gear. Oh no, there's just the nubbin. I forgot the nubbin. Nubbin. There we go. And then the large empty box to hold the clutch in. I'm told it does important work. Okay, the starter motor, of course, we'll need that for the process of starting. Okay, and then we can go around reattaching the bits back to the gearbox, so the front axles go on, followed by shiny black wheels and tyres. Anyone watching the Formula 1 recently? It's just it's had the final Abu Dhabi, was it, Grand Prix? Very good. He didn't need to win, but he won anyway. Why can't I remember his name? Awesome. My memory. Okay, that's the front, so we need to rise it up to put on the drive shaft and some of the exhaust, find out which bits of the exhaust we're missing. It's great, I keep wanting to say Damon Hill, of course, but that's showing my age. That was quite a while back. Oh, why can't I put those bits back on? Oh, I have to do that when it's on the floor. Okay. Right then, exhaust pipe BV6. But yes, do enjoy a bit of Grand Prix, and it's good to watch the English driver win, beating Nico Rosberg. They're very close. The Mercedes was so strong this year. It'd be interesting to see if anyone can match them next year for more of a duel at the top. And hopefully the lower teams will be able to stay somehow as well. And problems financing, because it's such a ridiculously expensive sport to run in. But there's huge money if you're in the top groups, but really it needs to be spread out more. There's the same sort of problem in football as well. It's all the money obviously gravitates to the top. And really it's less required at the top. It's sort of just under the top down needs to be much more highly funded. And also grassroots, it's always very important to keep the grassroots well funded, otherwise you don't have any influx of new players, of course, in future generations. Easy to say, but apparently very difficult to do. And what's going on with FIFA at the moment? They're so obviously corrupt, but they're managing to get away with it for so long. I mean, people are actually trying to pin them now and say, look, you're ridiculous. The whole Qatar thing is ridiculous. How is there not? Why has it gone to Qatar? It's the most unfootball likely place ever. It's like saying, you know, let's have an ice cream making contest in Qatar. It's one of the hottest places to live, so ideal for ice cream. Anyway, the fact that they've produced a report showing how they weren't corrupt, but they're not showing it to anyone, just seems ever so slightly pointless to me. Just kind of proves there must be something to hide. Who knows? Somehow Sepp Blatter has been in control of FIFA for a generation. And just like everywhere else, you should have rules that govern how long people can stay in the top job. I mean, crikey, the US President only gets to stay for 2 terms. Well, it says no more parts to assemble, which usually means that that's done. Let's have a quick look in the inventory by pressing some of the right buttons rather than the wrong ones. There's nothing shiny. No, spark plugs, yeah, throttle, yeah. Oh, did I? Yeah, that's all old stuff. Nothing shiny and new. Right, let's sell all that whilst I'm remembering. $12,000 US. Alright, let's go and stick it on the log jam and see where we got. There we go. Oh, I'll do this bit. It's pointless, but you know, it's nice to see. Oops, nice to see the actual result. 104%. Well, we did change just about everything we can change, to be fair. So, right, let's go and put it through its paces. Seems I've already spent about 20 minutes doing this. I should be able to do this in much less time, but I guess I've been dithering and chattering. So, job done properly. This should basically race down in under time. Whoa, leapt off the starting line like a gazelle. Wow. Well, I think we're going back in time. A second under. Alright, so straightforward, just basically changed everything on it, like I've been doing a few invoices before. No idea how much money I spent. Should be nice if it told me on here somewhere what I put on it at the time I'd got. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and listening to all my drivel. If you didn't have the sound on, then you'll wonder why I keep pausing on these screens and looking at them like this. And that's because I'm chatting. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.